You don't have any real personal beef with Diddy, but it's got to go down. The bits are there. I'm a gold miner. I just found some gold.
Diddy, who's now off suicide watch, believes he's innocent of the charges, which could land him in federal prison for the rest of his natural life.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
Joe Rogan built a reputation for speaking his mind and calling out the wildest stories in Hollywood, but now he's stepping into some serious whistleblower territory. With all the drama surrounding Diddy lately, Joe's got some tea to spill and it's piping hot. Word is, Joe has allegedly revealed a list of major celebrities who were deep in Diddy's infamous escapades. And guess what? These A-listers won't be able to slip through the cracks. The feds are closing in and it looks like they'll have a choice. Either sell out Diddy or snag the cell right next to him. Yeah, you heard that right. Joe's not playing around this time, and if the rumors are true, Hollywood's elite might be sweating bullets. It's no longer just about Diddy. The spotlight's about to shift on some big names, and they're going to have to make some tough choices. The question is, who's going to flip and who's going down with him? Buckle up, because this is only the beginning. Joe Rogan's not just your average commentator. He's deep in the entertainment industry for years. And if there's anyone who knows how to get the dirt, it's him. He's claimed that nearly every celebrity is scrambling for damage control right now because, let's face it, for years Hollywood was riding alongside Diddy.
There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
But now that the house of cards is starting to tumble, everyone's trying to get their tail out of the trap. Joe's hinted that some of the biggest names are shaking in their boots, and he's got the inside track on who's trying to distance themselves the fastest. Hollywood's playing cleanup, but they won't be able to outrun the fallout.
You also have those celebrity environments where celebrities all get together, and there's so many of them, you know, in these wild parties.
If you really think about it, Diddy had a way of getting everyone pretty woozy before things got wild, thanks to his endless supply of substances. And let's be real, the celebrities knew exactly what they were getting into. These infamous parties weren't just any get-together. They were the place to be if you wanted to rub shoulders with the right people and make it big in the industry. Everyone knew what was going down, but they kept showing up because, well, that's how you played the game if you wanted to stay relevant in Hollywood.
Big old crazy party, get everybody loose.
And get the cameras
Get them the
rolling.
yayo. Get them the yayo.
And everything else.
Get them everything you need. Get fired up.
And given the 14-page indictment, no one is safe.
There are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved.
According to Joe, Diddy is the small fish, and he's being set up by the higher-ups for their own agenda. Joe claimed the feds were after the incriminating footage of the FOs, not just Diddy. It won't be wrong to say that Diddy was just collateral damage. Everybody hung with Diddy, that's the other tricky thing. Like, Diddy hung out with everybody, and I've spoken to a bunch of people who were like, yo, great dude, always there for you, never asks for a single thing. They were the ones that called. They were like, I need to protect myself, so go in there with all the things and rip up any tapes or any evidence. Word on the street is that there's a list of accusers against Diddy and it's growing. Celebrities are scrambling to distance themselves from this mess, trying to wash their hands clean. But we all know it's not that simple. Authorities have already alleged that Diddy didn't act alone, and the next phase could see the prosecution of an entire network of people who worked for the rap mogul. According to Diddy's federal indictment on ST charges, he allegedly used employees to facilitate his disturbing actions. This network reportedly included everyone from security guards to household staff, personal assistants, and even high-ranking supervisors, all helping threaten and silence the women who were a part of his infamous freak-offs or wildest parties. A low level would be, let's just say, the housekeeper who picked up after one of the S parties, but a high-level enabler would be someone who lured the women to come into the S parties. Now, with the heat turning up, it looks like major players in Diddy's saga are trying to cut ties with the disgraced mogul. But they had videos. What are they going to do about that?
There's a video! You know? I mean, when you make a statement like that, okay, you know, the trafficking, okay? There's
According to Joe, the #1 person who was all in on Diddy's antics was none other than Usher. Now, let's be real, that's pretty hypocritical when you think about it. Everyone knows Usher was conditioned by Diddy when he was just a teenager.
Usher had a problem, he just didn't know it yet. See, Puff Daddy was this up-and-coming music executive who could really turn someone into a star. He put them through this thing called Flavor Camp, and during Usher's term in this Flavor Camp, he lived with Puff.
Remember that interview with Howard Stern where he casually mentioned the wild things he saw during his stay with Diddy? Yeah, it was more than just a front row seat to madness.
He said at any given time you can open the door and see a bunch of random people playing Netflix. He said he would be up all night partying when all he really wanted to do was go to the studio. And this is when people speculate.
But once Usher found his footing in the industry, instead of protecting others from those same disturbing experiences, he did quite the opposite. Rumor has it, Usher became one of Diddy's suppliers. And yeah, if you know what I mean, he allegedly pimped Justin Bieber to Diddy. Those infamous 48 hours spent with Diddy? Well, it turns out that was just the beginning.
Usher then sends a young Bieber to Diddy for 48 hours. And in this interview, Diddy's saying stuff like, man, Justin is doing things that any 15-year-old would dream of doing.
Now, Usher is scrambling to clear his name after a suspicious 6,000 tweets mysteriously vanished from his X account over the weekend. And what a coincidence, it happened just days after Diddy's arrest on those bombshell ST charges. Naturally, people were quick to connect the dots and assumed Usher was wiping his tracks. But now, Usher's account is back, and also he's playing it cool, brushing off the situation with a few laughing emojis, tweeting, "Account got hacked and damn y'all ran with it. See you tonight at Intuit Dome." Yet despite all the social media humor, Usher has remained silent on the serious allegations swirling around Diddy. What's even more telling was that it was a civil lawsuit filed by former Danity Kane member Don Richard, claiming Usher witnessed Diddy's DV against Cassie Ventura. And still, not a word from him on that front. Other than that, and other than Usher, Leonardo DiCaprio is also making moves to distance himself from the chaos surrounding Diddy, with an old photo of him resurfacing from one of Diddy's infamous white parties. DiCaprio seems to be doing everything in his power to shake off any lingering association with the disgraced music mogul. According to sources close to the actor, DiCaprio hasn't had anything to do with Diddy for years. Even though DiCaprio was once a regular at Diddy's star-studded bashes, including his 50th birthday in 2019, the source is adamant that Leo was never involved in any of the freak-offs. Listen, we all know the sources spoon-fed this narrative to clear up his name. Not to mention Diddy once was naming DiCaprio as his #1 party guest. It's clear that DiCaprio is cutting ties to keep his name out of the mess. The source made it clear. Leonardo DiCaprio has absolutely nothing to do with any of this. The list goes on as Pink also wiped her Twitter account clean of tweets praising Diddy. It does make you wonder, why go to such lengths to cut ties if there wasn't anything fishy? And now with Diddy's lawyer claiming he believes he's innocent and has no plans of pleading guilty, the question only gets bigger. If Diddy is so confident in his innocence, why are so many high-profile celebs scrambling to erase any trace of their connection to him? Fans believe that they know more than they're letting on. Well, they could simply be trying to stay ahead of what could be the biggest scandal in Hollywood seen in decades. Only time will tell. With his legal team standing firm and no plea deal in sight, it's clear that Diddy plans to fight tooth and nail, but the way everyone is distancing themselves suggests they might not want to stick around for the fallout.
He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things.
In the last hearing, people were speculating that Diddy would apply for a guilty appeal, but he applied not guilty. Once again, Diddy's lawyer came to defend him to the press. It's not up to me. It's up to Mr. Combs, and I don't see it happening because he believes he's innocent. And what's more, he believes that he needs to stand up not just for himself, but for his family and for everybody who's been targeted by the federal government. He feels an obligation to those people to say, you know what, maybe I can break the model. Maybe I can show the world that a black man can win in federal court. And I think he probably is the only person I know of who might be able to actually accomplish that goal. Interestingly, the Kardashians were no strangers to Diddy's infamous parties, with Khloe Kardashian herself dropping some eye-raising details back in 2014 episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She casually mentioned attending one of Diddy's events where half the people were butt naked. When her sister Kourtney rattled off a list of attendees, Diddy, Quincy Combs, Justin Bieber, French Montana, as if it were just another night in Hollywood.
I want to be Khloe when I grow up, Court. I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Well, this party, I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
It seems like the Kardashians were regulars at these wild gatherings, brushing shoulders with the same A-listers now scrambling to distance themselves from the mogul. With the heat surrounding Diddy's legal troubles, it makes you wonder just how deep their involvement went and if they too are keeping a low profile amid the chaos. Meek Mill is caught up in the Diddy drama too, with his name getting dragged into the mess. Despite partying with Diddy at multiple events, like that wild 2014 Grammy after-party Meek hosted, which the cops had to break up, he's been adamant that there's nothing shady between him and the music mogul. The two worked together a lot from 2012 to 15, with Meek featuring on Diddy's I Want the Love, and Diddy jumping on Meek's track Cold Hearted. But things got messy when rumors started flying after producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a lawsuit suggesting Diddy hooked up with a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Given that Meek fits the profile, he dated Nicki from 2014 to 16. Social media went into a frenzy. Meek quickly shut down the gossip with a strong post on X, even offering $10,000 to anyone who could figure out how his name got tied up in all this. While Meek hasn't directly spoken about the Diddy accusations, he's made it clear he doesn't buy into the stories. He's calling them straight-up lies meant to trash his name. But let's be honest, it all seems like a facade because he is literally seen relishing Diddy's improper attention in a viral clip.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
And guess what? After Diddy's arrest, there is literally no word from him. If that's not suspicious, I don't know what is. Steve Harvey deleting his 2017 tweet praising Sean Combs is like watching someone quietly slide out of a party just as the cops show up. With Diddy now facing serious charges like ST and racketeering, it looks like everyone who is associated with him is hitting the delete button fast. First Usher, then Megan Fox, and now Harvey have all been doing a little social media spring cleaning, trying to distance themselves from the increasingly toxic Diddy drama. But here's where things get really interesting. Rumor has it, Harvey might have more to hide than just a deleted tweet. Word on the street is that back when Lori Harvey briefly dated Diddy, her dad may have been a little too chill about it.
Diddy and Lori Harvey, they're heating things up in Italy. Notice her arm is on the back of his chair.
Shocking! For some reason.
Some are even speculating that Steve, in an effort to keep Diddy happy, allowed Lori to get caught up in the rapper's infamous freak-offs. Yeah, those wild D-fueled parties that are now a central part of the investigation. Now, whether or not that's true, we can't say. But given how fast Steve hit that delete button, you have to wonder if he's sweating a little bit. At this point, anyone who's ever been in the same room as Diddy seems to be going on a full-blown damage control mode, and Harvey's social media cleanup might just be the tip of the iceberg. You see, Sean Combs may just be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the alleged S-crimes that took place at his infamous parties. Attorney Tony Busby, representing over 100 alleged victims, has issued a stern warning. Diddy isn't going down alone. During a press conference in Houston, Busby had ominously hinted that other powerful figures are deeply entangled in these alleged crimes. According to him, the day will come when those names will be revealed, potentially shaking up the industry even further. Busby declared vowing to implicate anyone and everyone who had a hand in facilitating or turning a blind eye to the misconduct. We will expose the enablers who allowed this to happen behind closed doors. The day will come when we will name the names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already, but because of the nature of this case, we're gonna make damn sure that we're right before we do that. The names will shock you. Busby noted that he plans to begin filing lawsuits in various states within the next 30 days, promising to identify the other defendants at a later date. He later said that he will reveal the bystanders and willing participants who encouraged the alleged A and egged it on alongside Combs. Those people who know who they are should just come forward now, Busby urged. I would imagine that as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data. It looks like Jay-Z's empire might be on the verge of collapse. Rumors are swirling, and they're not the kind you can just brush off. Word on the street is that the rap mogul is on the run. Yeah, on the run, as his world seems to be crumbling right before our eyes. You see, it all kicked off when whispers about a divorce between him and Beyoncé started flying around. When some wild YouTube channels like The Urban Noir were stirring the pot with claims that Queen Bee has filed for divorce after Diddy supposedly spilled some serious tea about Jay-Z's dirty dealings, it looks like there's more smoke than fire in those particular claims. But there's not to say everything's peachy in Jay's world. According to these rumors, Jay-Z's been meeting with a criminal attorney and a divorce lawyer on the same day. And that's right, he's apparently getting his ducks in a row, and not just for one big storm, two. So with all that chaos brewing, it's no wonder Jay-Z hit the pause on his Made in America festival for the second year in a row. Instead of prepping the stage, it looks like he's prepping for some serious courtroom drama. Could the festival's cancellation have more to do with him battening down the hatches before a potential legal and marital storm? It looks like the festival's off while Jay braces for the impact of what might be the messiest headline saga of his career. I guess the only show on his mind now is the one that's set to go down in the courts, and no tickets required.
It has come to our attention that they are saying that one of the reasons why Jay-Z canceled the Made in America concert is because of Diddy.
Despite the impending downfall, Combs is fighting both tooth and nail to clear his name. Now he's holding fast to his innocence, though it seems like nobody's buying what he's selling. He's sticking to his story harder than a bad remix, refusing to back down even as the walls close in. Erica Wolf, Combs' attorney, tried to put some legal polish on the situation, stating, "As Mr. Combs' legal team has emphasized, he cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus. That said, Mr. Combs emphatically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claim that he essayed anyone, including minors. He looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court if and when the claims are filed and served, where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation." Well, not that this polished statement did any good for him. Even it spurred Wendy Williams to come out and address the issue. Wendy revealed that she is relieved that Combs is facing justice. To see this video on TV off Cassie getting pummeled, it was just horrific. But now you have to think, how many more times, how many more people, how many more women? What is really weird is that I've been told by so many people, "Wendy, you called it." And that's it for today. See you at the next one. Goodbye.